All right, we are back again for the Blues Hall of Fame inductees that are buried here in Chicago from 2006 to 2010. If you have not seen our previous videos, please make sure that you do. We are putting a lot of time and effort into these videos, so we are now into, like I said, 2006 through 2010. We started with 1980, and we are actually going to start with 2008 today, and we are visiting the grave of Herbert Sumlin. Now, Herbert Sumlin was known for being the guitarist in Howlin' Wolf's band. He was ranked 43 out of 100 for the greatest guitarist by Rolling Stone. He was raised in Arkansas. He got his first guitar when he was 8 years old, and when Howlin' Wolf moved to Chicago, he invited Sumlin to play. Um, he was promoted to first guitar after Jody Williams, who was first guitar in Howlin' Wolf's band, left. And then he also learned the keyboards and the scales. Muddy sent him to the Chicago Conservatory of Music to learn. And after Howlin' Wolf's I mean, not Muddy, sorry, Howlin' Wolf's death, he actually started up a band called the Wolfgang. And he played in that from 1976 until 1980. And he recorded songs up until his death, and Mick Jagger and Keith Richards actually paid for his funeral. He passed away at the age of 80 in 2011 from heart failure in a New Jersey hospital, and here he rests at Washington Memory Gardens. And then right across the street is Homewood Memory Gardens, and we actually found the grave of Frank Son Seals. Now, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2009. He was born in 1942, and he played the electric guitar. He was a singer as well. His father owned like a small juke joint, and that's how he got to know a lot of these blues legends that you actually know today. His father's juke joint was called the Dipsy Doodle Club, and at age 13, he became a drummer for Robert Nighthawk. At age 16, he played guitar at the T99 Club with Walter Jefferson, Albert King, Bobby Bland, and occasionally he also played country western music with Jimmy Grubbs. He had his own group at the age of 19 called the Sun Seals and the Upsetters, and he moved to Chicago in 1971 and signed to Alligator Records. In 1997, he was shot in the jaw by his wife, and in 1999, he had his left leg, part of his left leg amputated due to diabetes. He passed away in 2004 and rests here at Homewood Memory Gardens, right across the street from Washington Memory Gardens in Thornton, Illinois. And then the last person that we are going to visit today is the grave of Lonnie Brooks. Now, Lonnie Brooks was born Lee Baker Jr. In Louisiana in 1933, and he played the blues and learned the blues from his grandpa. He moved to Texas in the 50s and joined the Clifton Chenier Band. His solo career was at Gold Band label. His name was Guitar Junior under that label, but when he moved to Chicago in the 60s, he adopted Lonnie Brooks because that name was already taken. He recorded for Chess, Mercury Records, Midas Records. He was in the Jimmy Reed Band, and he also played live in Carnegie Hall in 1961. His style was described as the voodoo blues, which was a mix of Chicago blues, Louisiana blues, swamp pop, and R&B. And he was discovered by Alligator Records while playing at the Peppers Hideout on the south side of Chicago. He passed away in 2017, at the age of 83. All right, so that concludes our grave visits for today. But as always, I'm super excited because October is coming up and I have some fun things for the month of October. We're doing different things over there on Patreon. So, as always, make sure you subscribe to our Patreon. Over there, we're going to be visiting a few graves that we haven't visited over here, and I probably won't drop those over here for quite some time. We're going to be visiting the grave of Jack Ruby. We're going to be visiting the grave of Gene Siskel, and then we're also going to be visiting the grave of Shel Silverstein. So, as always, we love and appreciate you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.